Hi everyone, welcome to Scholars Weekly. I am Siddhant, this is Prateek, and today our guest is Miss Angna, who has just completed a PhD with a forte being in international and development economics. And today, Prateek and I are going to learn about what is the process of doing research from like the startup. So I wonder what we could learn today.
Yeah, hello.
Hello,
Perfect,
hello.
perfect. Thank you so much, Angana, for joining us on like a
Yeah,
weekday.
sure.
I'm sure you're
Yeah,
very busy.
no, that's okay. That's all right. But I think it's a very good initiative by you guys, definitely. So I wanted to join for sure. So you're Siddhant and Prateek, right?
Right, right, right. We
Yeah,
actually
okay.
post this, and
Okay.
Yuvraj actually helps us with like a level of like outreach.
Yeah.
We have,
Okay.
yeah, we have built a repository of like some research scholars and professors across India in the space of
Okay.
economics or like developmental economics or social impact, right?
Okay.
So that's the idea. So
Okay. All right. So which domain are you both from? Like economics or
yeah, so particularly
okay.
me and Siddhant, we are from the Department of Business Economics. I
Okay.
would say it's like fairly a combination of BCom and economics and subpar parts of it,
Mm.
right?
Right,
So
right.
yeah, so we get like the best of the both worlds,
True.
and we don't learn much out of anything. So yeah,
No, no, not like that, of course, but yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
So okay, just a quick check. Siddhant,
Yeah.
everything is all right with the hygiene of the podcast. Everything is synced
Yes.
up.
Let me check. Yes. Okay, yes. Everything is good. So wait, I'll just do like a small intro, right?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, I'll just like say hi to you for the
Yeah.
clip, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, hi Angna, welcome to Scholars Weekly. I am Siddhant. This is Prateek. We are the co-founders and co-presidents of the CDF Maharaja Agrisan chapter, and we welcome you to the podcast. And so, we have a couple of questions prepared. So, we can just start,
Sure.
like, you can just start with like a quick introduction of yourself, and then we'll move to our questions.
Definitely, definitely. So I think I'll just say so I have a quite a research experience, I would say, all the while. So I currently just completed my PhD. Actually, I submitted my PhD, and I'm awaiting my final defense. And
All
I
the
did
best.
my yeah.
All the best.
Thank
All
you.
the
Thank you. So
best.
it's kind of a good time to like I'm kind of relieved right after the submission.
Mm.
So yeah, kind of a good time to join in. By the way, yeah.
Perfect, perfect. I'll give you like the reason why me and Siddhant we actually started this podcast
Yeah.
is the idea behind is to provide a level of access to information with
Hmm.
a level of like subpar basic knowledge to
Hmm.
students like us who are in their like first and second year
Yeah.
about
True.
research, about economics, about anything which is out there in this like particular domain, right?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
uh, again, the core questions which are we are going to ask is very like basic stuff, which we
Hmm.
always
True.
have in mind, right? About career or economics, right?
Hmm.
How to go about it, right?
Right.
So, particularly, I would like to know from a PhD scholar. I'm sure your coursework is very research driven.
Hmm.
How does someone go
Hmm.
about the entire life cycle of like building a good research paper from the
Hmm.
ideation of to the RQ to the methodology to like the
Hmm.
entire coming to the process of it, right? So
Right.
yeah, any
So
input towards that? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. First of all, I think I'm really glad that a lot of undergrad people are actually going into research. Like from when I pursued my undergraduation, I think I knew little to even nothing about research at all. It was, I think, right after my master's that I really wanted to do something into research. Then I tried to go into it and did my PhD as well. So I think Yeah, to build on a research thing, I think first of all you need to have this mindset like why do you want to do research per se? Like is it because a lot of people are pursuing it, or I just want to get a PhD degree later on? Like I think that should be very clear in a mindset. Like
Mm.
go for it only when you really want to be a part of it, right? Because you need to be driven, like driven. And I feel like from my experience, I would suggest when you work somewhere, like when you get some kind of a like you're talking about internships and all as well, right? If you can get some sort of a research internship or something like beforehand, like under a good professor, or like under or in a project where there's a topic that you guys are interested in or something, I think that gives you a better perspective than like sitting going through a lot of research paper that will always make you confused.
Right,
But first thing, yes, while during your undergrads, you would be, I think, exposed to a lot of subjects, right? Domains. And I think that would be the first step that you get an idea about like what are the subjects or domains or any interdisciplinary area also per se, like you are interested in. I think that can be the first step that you can say, yeah, probably this is an area I want to further research into or go into or work something into it. I think that will be the first step. And second step, I would suggest then go deeper, like one step at a time, right?
right,
And you can always switch, or because in economics, like you said, business economics, even management, development economics, all of these are very interdisciplinary in nature. Like there are a lot of topics you can choose that comes at the intersection of those, right? So I think explore more. Of course, read a lot, but only do that after you have thought about, like you get an interest into I think, yeah, that I can suggest as a
Oh,
start point. Yeah.
perfect, perfect. Siddhant, any input towards this you would like to add?
yeah, yeah. Okay, so firstly, I really like the answer, and like I think this is something that I feel like Pratik and I have also been into. So like we're like deciding like what we're interested in. Right. So,
Yeah.
so one thing that I did actually see is like your thesis. I read this. Your thesis is about like international remittance inflows and how they
Right.
like affect the financial development and trade in the lower middle income countries.
Right.
I just want
Right.
this is like very international economic focus, right? So I just wanted to
Hmm.
ask how you got interested in this thesis and like what was your thought process
Okay.
behind it?
Yeah, again, I would not say like I knew it instantly, like I already had this in mind or something.
Right.
So just to if you know, I did had an experience of research, policy research experience in a think tank called ICRIER, like International like Council, Indian Council for
Right,
Research on,
Right.
yeah, International Economic
right,
Relations in Delhi. So there, mostly I worked on a lot of area related to like FDI, international trade, and etc etc, lot of domains. But there was one topic that I worked even little more was on labor mobility, like international labor mobility, right? Where
right.
I looked into like high skilled migration that happens from India to abroad, and then
Mhm.
there are issues of like startup visas and stuff. So there were some of those topics that I worked on, like even more than the other topics, right? And that was something in my mind, like okay, maybe some sort of an international migration or something. This is a domain I'm interested in. Like I was
Right.
also working on international trade, but international trade was such a wide domain, right? Migration is also, but trade is such a wide domain. I was like, okay, I was unable to choose like a topic further, and I was not sure whether I should go for a PhD or I should continue in like research itself in some institution or like in corporate or something like that. So when I went to do my PhD, like international migration and trade was in my mind. So, but while talking to my supervisor and all, like I read some topics. I also looked into agriculture and varied other topics as well. Like I got even more confused. And then, while in some discussion, I think remittances came into play because again, migration also comes under various domains, like even under sociology,
Right.
and like there are a lot of aspects like in development studies as well.
Right.
So there is gender perspective, there are a lot of other perspective that comes into migration, right? And then migration is also like you can see internal migration within the country. Like there are a lot of issues that you can work upon. So remittances was one area. Somehow it was not less explored, I would say, but people mainly focus on migration much than on the remittances part as part of the PhD part, like when I did some literature review and stuff. So I think that's how I stumbled upon, I think you can say, like that labor mobility. like the topics that I worked on, I think that basically led to my kind of interest in remittances. Because
Right, right.
yeah, for PhD you need to like narrow it down, right? Like you narrow it down, and narrow it down even further.
Right.
So yeah,
Can
that
you like shed some light in like any particular finding which is like very interesting
for
that
my thesis.
exactly?
So yeah, so I think what I'll say is you must be knowing I was working on lower middle income countries, okay?
Hmm.
And India is also one of them. Like India is still a low middle income country, and it's the highest recipient of remittances. But what
Right.
happens is, although India receives a lot of remittances, like huge volume, like when I looked into financial development, meaning like suppose money you like someone is sending money from outside to the country, and
Hmm.
how it is channelized into like savings or any productive investment of some sort, right?
Hmm.
That part is still at a very low level, especially in India, like
Right.
really low. Like although we expect like the channelization to happen, like a lot of digital remittances happening, there are more better avenues of getting transferred. So while people are receiving it, they are getting it, but how they are putting it to productive use, right? So
Right.
that's the part. It's still at a very nascent level. Like so, I think although and many other countries like Nigeria and like there are a lot of other countries they're doing even better. Like because of some like I would say they have a lot of incentives, I would say.
Hmm.
Those are making it even better. Like in India we have Google Pay and all those wallets
Right.
system which works
Right.
within the country really well. So
Yeah.
I think more like I would say connecting link between those remittances transfer and digital wallets that can even make it further better, like for a country like India. Like I'm just giving
Hmm.
India's example, but
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, I would say that has been one of my finding I could suggest. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for like giving us like a short like a preview of your
Okay.
thesis, right? It's
Yeah.
it's very interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
one question which I ask to every like academic which I come across in today's
Right.
day is
Yeah.
see as you know in the NAP
Hmm.
we have been offered like a 4-year degree, particularly every
Yeah.
state university has been offered.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
every student has now the option to do directly,
Choose.
yeah, choose
Hmm.
and directly enroll into a PhD program after like their dissertation. Now
Right.
I personally feel it's a very
Hmm.
radical decision, right?
That's
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, uh, I want like couple of opinions on your like on this
Hmm.
particular topic. Is it like something which is good in terms of it? Because I feel there are already too many courses which are out there in India. I feel
Hmm.
it's kind of it is like giving and taking like somewhat like a radical decision, but it's bridging a few years in a student's life if they're
Yeah.
going for research, right?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
any input here?
I think it's very dicey. I can't really put forward like this would be good and this would not be. I think that would not it would be wrong on my part. When I got to know about the thing, like I was very excited because even after masters, like I would say, although we get the degrees, we don't really get any research experience as such.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like uh, like abroad, you do have the masters in MRes, right? Some in
Right,
UK
right,
or something, you have that. So you get like we had MPhil earlier that at I think in few universities you did get good exposure like again, but then you had to do masters then MPhil. Like MPhil was not something you can do directly after your bachelor's, like from my
right,
knowledge. So I think this is actually a good option for people who really want to go to PhD and not really do again masters, who really want to go into research line. In that aspect, who are really interested. And if also I think one thing that really matters is more than the institution as well, also who you work under, like the person you work under, right?
Right.
If the
mhm,
interest domain matches, you are not doing research for the sake of doing, because that would matter a lot in that 3 4 years of how many years of PhD that you want to like go into. So I think that would yeah, I think that would be my. I can't say you should, but
Hmm.
I would take a positive take on it. I
right,
believe it's a if implemented well, like I'm more on the positive side. Yeah, I think
right.
it's a good. Yeah.
Right.
Perfect. Siddhant, you would like to add anything over this?
Yeah. Okay. So, see, I had a question about like
Hmm.
research internships. See,
Hmm.
Prateek has done a couple of research internships, and like my peers around me have done like research internships with like international professors, right? So I just wanted to ask
Right.
like, for like a student who's going up
Hmm.
this, like a first year student, like some like
Hmm.
my juniors who wants to apply to this, like
Hmm.
who wants to like mail professors about this. How should they
Hmm.
go about it, and like what can make them like stand out?
I think again, like from my experience, I did get a lot of rejection and also like no replies to a lot of mails as well. Like I would say during the COVID times as well, when I email a lot of things. So I don't think there's again one way out, but um, I think I would say go about like mail professors as much as you can. Like don't be very like rude or be polite and all, and always express why you want to. Like you're really interested in that domain or what interest. Like always research on the work that the professor has done.
Mhm.
Like and what like inclines from your side. Like right. So I think an email is like make it very short and crisp and clear. Like
Right.
you may get rejected, that's okay. Like when you get 100 rejection, that's okay, but keep mailing. Like I would not say just at the thought of like should I not. I think go about you are interested in a topic, you wanted to learn, like email that professor, but be crisp and clear, and like why you want to. I think that would matter more. Like, and whoever is interested, I think they'll definitely mail you back. I feel like who's free or who wants to really take someone under them in any way. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, I see a lot of like LinkedIn posts of these professors like saying ki, I got
Huh.
this like a kind of a mail. She doesn't have any idea of the work which I have done previously, or
Hmm.
yeah. So anything in that scope, I have done that also in my
Yeah.
first semester.
But I think what happens is you can't really know at the undergraduate level or at any other level, even at PhD level at times, you can't really know because the whole perspective of every professor also vary. Like
Hmm,
because their working style vary or the
Mhm.
type of work they expect vary. And unless you work with someone, you don't really know like what is the dynamic. Right.
right,
So
Right.
I think if you have a good intent, I think you should always go forward with it. Like if that is not liked by somebody, I think that's not under your control much.
Mhm.
So till you have a good intent and you really want to go forward with it, I think you can mail professors. I believe like that's
Right.
been
Right.
my strategy. Yeah. So
Perfect. Perfect. So coming back to that, so my first question I would like to ask you, which I
yeah.
asked.
Uh,
See, in like back in my second semester, I was working
hmm,
with one of my mentors about
hmm,
this particular topic on she wanted to find like the amount of like the consumer goods, like the
hmm,
durable and non-durable goods which are being consumed in our economy, how
hmm.
much is it increasing compared to like the level of education in a normal
Okay.
household, right? So
Okay.
when when she presented me this idea, it seemed very interesting, but
Hmm,
I had zero clue how to go
hmm,
about it, like where to
hmm,
get the data, right?
hmm,
What methodologies should I use to analyze it? Should I
hmm,
interview some folks to get some data out of it, right?
hmm,
So
hmm,
these are like so many blanket questions which always like comes into mind. Ki how should I already have like a idea and I
hmm,
want to show like a finding on this space, but
hmm.
I don't know how to go about this, right? So any input in that, like if how should we go about
Yeah.
it?
I think very relevant, pertinent question, in fact, and I think every researcher, like anyone who would like to have a research experience, is a researcher. I would say that, right? So you would face that question, and I think data here plays a very important role. Like I think you also, I think, mentioned about the qualitative and quantitative data and a lot of other aspects as well, right? So I think in the beginning see, a lot of topics seem interesting, right? But what always goes to a dead end is the data part. Like, if you have no data, what would you analyze? Especially in economics or any related fields, like where data matters the most. So, I think look, first research like what papers or related papers have been done in this area. Anything even related to it, like on any sort. Like, spend first few days without thinking I would work on this topic per se. Suppose you are talking about consumer goods or like durable goods or non-durable goods, just go to Google Scholar and whatever you use. I use Google Scholar. Go and research on recent papers, like in the last 4 to 5 years, what has been done on this topic, you would get a better idea. What happens is we don't really, because whether people have done some qualitative survey or actually there may be a database that people have been using it, maybe you can put that to use, right? Or you can even supplement like these mixed methods research, like suppose you have very limited data set, you analyzed a bit of it, so it wanted to supplement it with some survey, maybe you have put out some questionnaires, maybe online, right, if not offline, to a particular group of 100 or 200, like maybe people, then you collected that, so that actually makes your research even better, like, right? So
Right.
I think
Right.
first do that initial research, even if a topic seems interesting, first research a little bit, spend few days just to know what has been done, so that
Mhm.
you are aware of it before going about it, like, right? And everything comes later, like once you have decided, okay, I think there's a fairly good data set I can go about or something of that sort, then move to the next step, like one set at a time. And I think even the methodology, you can research it later on, what can I apply, now I have the data set, now what can I put that to use.
Right,
Right,
right.
Right. Right.
like not every data set needs a high, sophisticated econometric model or sort of.
Mhm.
No, not necessarily. Like based on the data set, you can come up to. Maybe you can have a descriptive sort of a thing. Even that can make sense, right? Like
Right.
what matters is like what you want to say, like what's new, like what are you researching, like research, right?
Mhm.
The definition is. So I think that would matter. Like go one step at a time. Sorry, yeah, that would matter the most, I would say. Yeah,
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
yeah,
Siddhant, you want to go about your question?
I think we're done with our questions, right?
Yeah, I think we went
yeah,
on pretty
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. So I
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. But I think it's really nice talking to you on like you can always have you have a mail, my mail ID as well. So I think because I feel I didn't suffer, but yeah, I did face a lot of challenges. Even now we do face, right? Even doing a PhD doesn't mean I know everything. It's just one area I researched upon. Made my thesis definitely, but we do face challenges all about our way, right? And
right.
Yeah.
related to research, I feel because I got interested in and even today I love to like write research papers or talk about research whenever I can based on my experience. So I feel any platform that gives me this, yeah, I'm really glad about it. So yeah,
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank you so
Angana.
much.
sure,
It really means a lot that you came in like such a short notice, and
yeah,
you
that's
shared.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and before you go, any
Huh.
particular like resources that you would like to uh, like tell these undergrad students to like explore that would like give them a better sense of like economics or maybe in their particular domain in general that
Actually,
you
I
go
do
up.
have a few collection. I can share it over mail, I guess. I can like especially which related to literature review. Like
Mhm.
I would say, the few of the application that has really helped. Like use of AI today itself is like you can't avoid using AI, right?
Right,
But how
right.
you put it to productive use literally matters. So
Hmm.
we used to spend a lot of time. Reviewing a lot of research papers and reading every research paper from beginning till end, or like even going have a cursory view, like it
Hmm.
takes up a lot of time, right? So there are a lot
Right.
of application like lit maths, research rabbit, like some of them I have subscription to, some I don't, but I think a lot of them have helped me in summarizing, like you can better use, maybe customize it how you want to use it, but that
Right.
really helps because that's the major part where you face a lot of time. Like once you know what method to use, or you can go about it. But I think yeah,
Hmm.
I can share it over mail. You can maybe
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
yeah. I think those are some of the good yeah resources that can help you guys. Yeah, surely.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Amna, for taking the time
Thank
to
you.
join us.
Sure.
And it really means a lot that you came along in like in a such short notice again, right? And
Yeah.
thank you so much for your insight. And
Yeah.
I'm sure like our batchmates and the folks we share it to across our network would really appreciate it. And
Sure, sure. But I am glad even like you can call me again as well. Like this is something I really love talking to, and you guys are interested even during first, second year of your college. I think that means a lot. There's a huge way to like long way to go about, right? So I think yeah,
Right.
a lot to learn. So yeah,
Perfect.
thank
Perfect.
you for inviting me. Yeah,
Thank you so
thank
much,
you,
Anna.
thank you.
Take care.
Thank you for watching Scholars Weekly, which is now releasing weekly somehow. I hope you were able to learn something, especially if you're into research. I hope you were able to learn something, and we'll come out with another episode soon, I hope. Thank you for watching. Podcast out.